part 2, and today we're going to get this thing cleaned and painted. And the last thing I'm going to do, I got it flipped upside down right now. We ground these 4 welds flat, and we're going to lay a couple angles down there and tack them in, and we're going to put them in very parallel. And those are going to be the supports for our drawer. We'll make the drawer last, but I want to get this thing painted and my stand in place, and that way I can make the drawer at my leisure. Well, not that I have any leisure, but at least I can get it, get some wiggle room in here. But I need to get this stand out of my way and that plate out of my way. So that's next. This is real simple. We're just going to drop in a couple of angles, do a little more polishing on some of the welds, clean up the dingleberries with a putty knife, and get it painted. But I'm going to bring it back for the drawer portion of it, because you guys seem to like the sheet metal work. So we're going to make a nice little pull-out drawer. All right, stay tuned for that. Okay, so our angles are prepped. We went ahead and drilled some large holes in them. We're just going to plug weld them, and this is a good technique if you don't want it, any side welds showing or anything. Right now the table's upside down, so 3 simple plug welds is going to hold that angle in just fine. And that's a great way to conceal your welds. Just go around that circle and do a nice plug weld. Plug welds are strong in numbers. Never rely on one plug weld. You can always twist it off. But if you get multiple plug welds, that's going to hold you just fine. This is just holding in a drawer. This is nothing super critical. But we're very parallel. We made sure we're extremely parallel. We measured very carefully front and back to make sure we're good. And we actually backspaced it slightly. You see the angles coming up short out here in front. That's going to leave room for our drawer front to close and stay flush. The angles are flush in the back, but I've got them back set here and here, about triple the thickness of a piece of sheet metal. So we've got room for the drawer front to close against that. And our drawer sliders are just going to go right in here. All right. So you'll probably notice I got. Here's another little tip for anchor lube. If you keep it around your, if it's around your holes and stuff, don't really sweat it. If you're using, heavy dark cutting oil and stuff, and you go to weld next to it, your welds and your parts will burst into flames. So you don't have to clean this stuff off. It doesn't burn, and it burns away clean. So, I mean, it doesn't affect your weld at all. It just, the weld just chases it away if you're MIG welding. TIG is another story. You want clean, 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 but MIG welding, it doesn't care. If you got a little anchor lube on there, you don't have to worry about setting fire to your work. All right, let's get these welded up, and then I almost forgot, we still need to make a pan or a cover for that top. So we're going to flip it over and just tack weld a flat sheet on the other side. Okay, and there's finished plug welds. We just ran a polishing wheel over them. So that's all you're going to see. You just got those 3. You don't have any ugly welds on the sides or whatever, so everything stays concealed. So plug welds are a good way to attach some joints. All right. Let's flip it over and get a lid on that thing. Okay, so I got a coat of paint on it. And it's just waiting on some sunshine. It's kind of a crappy day here. So if I get a little sunshine, I might be able to put this together to maybe later today. There you can see my sheet metal I put in there, and I tacked it all in, and then I caulked around the edge, so that'll keep dust and stuff from getting down in my drawer. Welcome to the bench, and we're going to start our drawer for our granite plate table. And we've drawn the cutout, and we've done our isometric. Now, what's going to be different about this from all the other boxes I built, I know you guys have seen me make boxes before, but you guys seem to love it. Our OD on the box is critical. We set our hinges at 18.5 inches apart, so our drawer needs to be 18.5 inches OD. So all these are going to be inside measurements, and when you do that, when you scribe lines and do corner notches and break points and everything, if you want it to be on the OD, you deduct the thickness of the metal once per side. So 2 thicknesses of the metal have to come off of your dimensions so that your box ends up being to your OD size. So our finished box is going to be 18.5 by 23.5. So this is going to be a two-piece drawer. We're going to make the drawer piece first, and then we're going to make the drawer front last. And you just weld the drawer front onto the drawer box when you're done. So we're going to get our corner notches done. We're doing a 4-inch deep drawer, and we're going to put a hem around 4 sides. So we're doing a 4.5-inch corner notch, so it's 4.5 by 4.5 on all four. We're going to fold all our hems towards the inside of the drawer, just to give that top edge some strength and nothing sharp, you know, to cut yourself on. So all 4 sides will have a little 1/2-inch hem, and then the drawer itself will be 4 inches deep. So yeah, let me get this marked up and corner notched, and then we'll bring you back for some pan brake action. Okay, and we got our brake pretty close to set. You know, we lift the dies up, make sure we got no debris. If it's been sitting for a long time, make sure you get all the junk out of there. You don't want to be pinching your metal down on some metal chips or something. You align all your dies. You make sure they're all in a line with each other. You know, get all your dies tightened down. A way to set your dies and is to do a back spacing here, thickness of the metal, this die all the way back. Set the carriage on this side to the thickness of the metal. Over here, do the same thing. Move the carriage back and forth, thickness of the metal. Lift the die set up, and with all the center ones loose, bring the apron up just till it bumps in, and then check your alignment all the way across and bring your dies in or out, move them around till you've got one continuous line all the way across, but you can use the apron to set all your dies even with each other. And if your brake's abused, you know, after you got all your dies all set, a lot of times these things get banged around and beat around. It doesn't hurt. You just run a file across the face of those. You'll feel any high spots or anything right away. It don't take any nicks or anything out of the front of your dies. I'm just showing you a little maintenance on this thing that I do from time to time. Dies aren't that hard. File will get in there. And there you got a pretty clean die set. And you're ready to go to work. Now, another thing you do is you check the pinch on it, and you adjust the pinch. You don't know what the last guy did, so you want to make sure whatever material you're going to use, that you get a good pinch and a good lock. And just check it in a few spots, make sure you're locked down And that's individually adjustable left and right as well. Alright, so we've adjusted our setback, our die crush, and our front line, so that we know they're all in alignment with each other. And now we can break our part. And we're just going to start with the hem. We do the hem on 4 sides and work our way around from there. And we're just using our scribe line to line up. We're putting it right against the die, right on the edge, line to line. And this one we're rolling over hard, and we're going to fold it down flat. And now we're just going to use the leverage of the brake to crush it. Just like that. And we're going to do that on all 4 sides. We gotta get those bottles out of my way. Again, line to line, same drill. Side. Okay, we're going to go around to all 4 sides. We're going to finish the crush out on the very nose of the dies, and that's going to actually take it and just finish that closure, and it'll pull it in tight right here. We're going to do that on all 4. Just barely get it under there, and just let the nose of that die come down and catch the tip of the sheet metal. And that's going to finish the closure. See, this one's still pretty open. This one's very close. Actually, I'll pull this one out and show you the difference after I'm done with this one. Here's the closure on this one. Very tight. You can see this one is still very open. So I'll kind of let you look down the camera at that one and look down the camera at that one. So it creates a better closure. Out over there. Okay. All right, that closed us up good. All right, let's. I got to take some dies out and figure out what I'm doing to do the last four, and I'll bring you back. Okay, I got my dies removed, and the way this is going to work, we're going to bend. We're going to bend the two long ends with this die set. Pop this one die off, bend the two short ends. So we only got to pull one die out in between operations, so it's not too bad. So and I've got a stop set for 90, and we just need to get on our brake line there. And there. All right. I think I've made it to 90. Look like 90 to you? I did not. Could have sworn I hit my stop. Let's move that a little bit. Pretty happy there. Pull our die and do the other two sides. Ooh, we're still over. We're not going to fit in there. All right, I need to set up a new die set. Moving over here. That's a little short. So we end up there. 3 inch, 3 inch. Might be able to do something with that. You got a 3-inch die in there, and I think we can get these two sides done. All right, I think we got a winner here. Hopefully you can see way over here. But I think I'm in good shape. Oh yeah, I'll fit in between those nicely. And we're just gonna go corner to corner. Right on that brake line. Happy there, happy there. All right. Okay. side. Remember what I told you before about spreading your work just a little bit so you clear the dies. It gives you a little bit extra clearance on the way up. All right, we got a box. Pull a corner straight and you can see how those corners are going to line up with the hem. Okay, but there's a completed drawer, and I still haven't decided what I'm going to do out in front, what kind of dividers I'm going to put in. I think I'm going to give a little tray up front for maybe pens and little skinny stuff, and the back will be for blocks and such. But that's what a finished corner looks like right there. If you tweak it around, but that's completely weldable. All right. All right. Next up, welding. I know we've talked about this before, but the way I weld my corners is I'm going to tack the outside first. I'm going to go across here and put 3 or 4 good tacks on it and knock it around till it's nice and square, and then just go along and put dots all the way across this outside. After that, I'm not going to grind it. I'm going to go inside and run a continuous bead on the inside for strength, come back out, polish the outer rim. So it gets welded inside and out, and let's just get one tacked up. Let's take a look at it. All you do is bring the outer corner together, the extreme outer. And lather, rinse, repeat. Just keep all those 4 corners tacked. Then we can come back and lay a heavy bead inside. Load taps with a ball peen, knocking it around, getting your corners straight. If you look at this one, you'll see that this side has a little bit of an arc to it. So I mean, you can just put some pressure down with your thumb and put it down there. But if you just pull down in the center pretty hard, and give it some tap next to the weld, you can actually get it to lay down. And that joint right there is absolutely perfect for welding. Alright, but let me get these sides spotted up and done. I know I don't have my welding rig perfected yet. I'm still playing with lenses and things like that. So I'm sorry, no welding video. Alright, let me get this all welded up, and I'll bring you back and give you a tutorial on how to polish a corner after it's welded inside and out. Okay, now we've welded outside, inside. I'll show you the inside. We've got a continuous bead inside of each one. And now we can grind and polish the outside and get rid of some of this ugliness. And we're going to use 2 different grinders. One of them's going to be a hard wheel. One of them's going to be a polishing disc. That's an 80 grit polishing wheel. flap wheel, also known as. We're gonna use a hard disc first, and I'm gonna grind it, and then I'm gonna show it to you what it looks like before you polish it. And all you're doing is just some basic shaping with this. You don't want to take it down to the level of the sheet metal. You just want to knock the heavy stuff off to try to save your polishing wheel, because you don't want to do all that grinding with a really soft wheel. Doing with that is just some general shaping. You're not taking it down to the level of the sheet metal or doing any blending or anything. You're just removing the heavy stuff. And then you can come back with your flap wheel and finish it up. Finish corner. So we've got that on 3 more sides, and then we can get started on our drawer front and figure out what kind of dividers we want inside of here. But at least we can mount it on the rails and check it for fit. What I haven't checked yet, we should have ended up 18.5 OD on this thing. It'd be kind of dumb to even continue if I don't have that. So I'm 18.5 on the dot on the OD. So that's what we wanted exactly, because we mounted our rails, we mounted those angles exactly 19.5 inches apart, and those the sliders for the drawers are 1/2 inch each, so 1/2 inch per side. So you deduct a full inch between your mounting base and your actual drawer size. So. Okay, well, we hit our target. Let's get the other corners polished up, and maybe just get it mounted and test fitted. Okay, well, we got it fitted, and I still got to make a drawer front for it. So these get hidden, the sliders get hidden, and I've got nowhere to pull. I think I'm going to do a bottom pull, run my drawer front down, maybe an extra 1/2 inch, and roll a wire edge on the back side where I can hang on to it. But I got full extension. The tech screws are still in. I had to fuss around with the hinges a little bit to make sure they, as you usually do, these things you got to synchronize the catches where it catches that little spring return there in the back. It's one of those soft closers. So yeah, pretty nice, pretty smooth. Okay, and I've selected my material for the drawer front. It's a piece of polished stainless steel. This side's all scratched up. This side's in pretty good shape. I cleaned it and taped it up so I wouldn't scratch it anymore. And we're going to form the bottom edge where we're going to grab a hold of that drawer. And I'm just going to form a wire edge. And I'm just going to use some 1/4 inch rod to lay in there and form the sheet metal around the rod. So I've cut my rod a little shy, because after the rod's in there, it's actually going to be loose and you have to stake it down at the end so it can't slide out the side. What we're going to do first is make 2 bends in succession to each other. And here, let me get this thing marked real quick. And I need a scribe and an edge tool. All right. So we're going to make let's see, we're going to make one mark at 1 inch actually made a mark at a half and okay, so I made a mark at a 1/2 inch and I made a mark at 3/4 inch. So 1/4 inch apart, that's the same diameter as my rod. That's gonna fit in there. We're gonna bend our first one, roll the second one over, then the third one we're gonna crimp down on it. And this stuff isn't very bender friendly, but it's 18 gauge, so it's gonna be not too bad. And it doesn't scribe for diddly, it just doesn't scribe good at all. All right, let's roll this one up to 90. And we're going to come out a 1/4 inch to our next one. And roll this one up as far as we can. I don't know how far we're going to get, but we're going to go as far as we can. Just till we start touching that die. And then our rod goes in. And now we crimp. And this is going to form around that rod. And you just got to make sure the rod doesn't slip out when you're doing this. Alright, now we've created a crimp around that rod. But as I said, the rod can slide out. But that gives us a nice, when we reach down for our drawer, it gives us a nice rounded edge to grab a hold of. And I'm gonna shear this off just a little bit longer than the drawer, so this is hanging down maybe 1 inch. So you've got a bottom pull on it. Okay? And I don't really want to weld on this because I'll discolor it and lose the polish. So I'll probably pick 4 nice looking bolts and just bolt this drawer front right on there. Alright, but that's how you do a wire edge type crimp. Pretty simple actually. Alright?
And for some odd reason I lost my audio just on this clip, so I'm showing you I did a 1/4 inch return on the top. It's going to fold over the drawer, and then I'm showing you the wire edge down at the bottom. And I went ahead and left the wire out. You know, for a car fender or something like that, you can leave the wire in there for strength, but the rod slipped right out, so I just took it out and left it out. So it didn't even need to be there. It's plenty strong without it. So I decided against leaving the rod in. But here I'm showing you that I'm doing a couple of bolts in the front, and where we're going to bolt it up to the drawer front to the drawer.
Front mounted, and I just use these screws temporarily. I got to get over to the hardware store and pick up something I like. These are just some CAD plated Phillips pan heads. I'll probably get like a button head Allen or something. But that's got a nice nice pull on the bottom, nice rounded corner. Gives me a place to pull it out and say you're getting that in 3D. I know you guys want to see the big reveal. Peel the tape off, Stan. Let's see what it looks like underneath. This will be fun getting that up front of them bolt heads. Oh well, I'll clean that off when I change them. Okay. Now that's you looking at that, looking back at you. So you're staring down the barrel of like 4,800 people. But that's my completion of Pimp My Drawer. But there's some 3D action for you there. And why do I do such things? Because I can. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.